Hey everyone, it's Angela Allen from the Handmade Homestead. Well, today we are going to make the perfect winter soup, my family's favorite, smoky bacon corn chowder. It's warm, it's delicious, it's filling, it's silky, smooth, smoky, savory, sweet, and luscious all at the same time. It's very filling as soup goes. If you serve it with a little bit of homemade bread or crackers on the side, it's a perfect meal, and it's also really very, very frugal. So I'm going to show you how to save some money, fill your family up, and have them saying thank you afterwards. So let's go. Well, New Englanders are well known for our frugality. It's probably our long winters and our short growing seasons that make us really stock our pantries. And corn chowder is one of those soups that you can absolutely make from pantry staples. Most everything you need: potatoes, broth, some kind of milk or dairy cream, onions, bacon, certainly something like a smoky meat like bacon or ham, and the corn itself are all things that people usually have in their pantry. It's also a pretty quick soup to make. It is very filling, and how the broth is, whether it's thick or thinner, that's something that's totally changeable for your own preference, and we're going to talk about that too. Now you can make your chowder broth either thick or thin. Some people really like the intensely thick, creamy, almost stew-like thickness of their chowder. I don't make it that way. My family doesn't like it that thick, but they do like it creamy. So in your own kitchen, depending on what you have available in your pantry, you can just use a little bit of flour, make a little bit of roux with flour and butter, use that to thicken your soup. If you're not a person that uses cornstarch, absolutely arrowroot powder will work for that too. So use what works best for you, thicken it however you want, but whatever you do, don't forget the butter and don't forget the black pepper. All right, let's get our ingredients together and we will get this soup made. I love making soup straight from my pantry, and this is definitely such a good one to do. So on my stove right now, I have about 6 or 8 cups of bone broth, chicken bone broth heating up. You could use water, but I really think that bone broth adds a lot of flavor, and it adds a lot of nutrition. So it's definitely my first choice. I make a lot of bone broth because it's so healthy. I am going to heat the bone broth up in another pan. I'm going to make a quick roux with butter and a little bit of all-purpose flour. I'm going to use that to thicken my soup because we do like our soup pretty creamy. Or you can leave the soup thin and just more liquidy if that's what your family enjoys. Totally up to you, but I am going to thicken it. Potatoes, of course, I am going to peel mine. You don't have to, that's totally up to you. And sometimes, honestly, if they're fresh potatoes from the garden, I don't peel them. But these are russets, and I'm going to peel them just because the skin can be kind of tough. So I'm going to wash them, peel them, and I'm going to cut them up in good sized chunks. You cut them whatever size you want to. Just try to cut yours in a consistent shape or size so that they will cook evenly for you in your pot. And you're going to cook this however long you want it, depending on how you like the texture of your soup. So potatoes, celery. I'm going to use green onions. I don't use a lot of bulb onions, but you can use green onions or a medium or small white onion, whatever you prefer. This is cooked bacon. I had previously cooked it as, for bacon bits and froze a few packages. I'm going to use 2. This is really concentrated, very compressed bacon. There's quite a bit here, but again, that's how we like our soup. So let's talk about corn, of course, corn chowder. You can use any kind of corn that you have in your pantry. You can use fresh corn. You can use corn from the freezer. You can cut it off the cob, or use corn that you've already cut off the cob and frozen, or you can use canned. It does not matter. If you've got canned corn that you've put effort into, absolutely use that. If all you have is store-bought canned corn, you can use that too. So any kind of corn that you have handy. And I've got this divided up on purpose so that you can see. Half of the corn I leave in whole kernels, and half of the corn I do as cream-styled corn. It's not really cream corn. There's no other additives in it. I've literally taken corn, half of the corn I had to use for the recipe, and I just hit it with the stick blender, put some water in it so it was easier to mix, and hit it with a stick blender. You can see some of that is thicker, some of it's chunky, some of the kernels aren't broken down, some of them are pureed right up. So that is what we're going to use. It gives it a lot more flavor, and it just kind of disperses through the soup better that way, I think. But that's really all you need. Lots of pepper, lots of butter. That really adds a lot of richness to the soup too, and definitely are not flavors to be missed in this. All right, let's check on our broth, get our potatoes washed and peeled, and we will be ready to make this soup. It's quick. And again, the leftovers, make extra, you guys, because the leftovers the next day taste even better. All right, here we go. Okay, well, it's time to add all of our ingredients. This is chicken bone broth that I have boiling away here. It doesn't really matter if we add any specific order. We're just going to add them all. Now, I peeled my potatoes this time, but I don't always peel them. I just happen to peel them because, again, they were russets. But if it's a thinner skin variety like red potatoes or really young Yukon Golds or white potatoes, I probably would not have peeled them. I like the extra fiber and then extra nutrition that you get. So that was all of the corn, the celery, and these are the green onions. And I'm going to put them in now because I'm not putting them in as a garnish. I'm putting them in as flavor. There we go. And this is our bacon. I told you the bacon has a little bit of bacon fat in it. That will only help with the flavor. But it's very well cooked bacon. There's no uncooked fat areas. This is more like really well cooked diced ham. So all of the fat or fattier pieces, there's no chewy or fatty pieces on it. I don't like that in soup. If I have bacon in soup, I want it cooked to crisp first. If you don't have pre-cooked bacon, just put some bacon in a pan, chunk it up. You can break it up afterwards too, however you choose to cook it, but cook it till it's very crisp because it's going to soften in the soup, and nobody wants a chunk of chewy bacon fat in their soup. And as I told you, I am putting quite a bit in. I'm putting 2 packages of cooked bacon, and it really probably is the equivalent of a pound and a half of cooked down bacon, maybe even 2 of those 12 or 16 ounce packs of bacon cooked down, because we like a lot. And as you can see, I'm making a really big pot of soup. Let me wash my hands and give that a stir, and it will be ready to cook. And in the meantime, I will get my roux started. The only other things I'm going to add right now to this soup is some thyme. Thyme is just really good in it. And a lot of black pepper. Fresh ground always tastes better, but if you fresh grind it, use less until you taste the soup. There we go. So as you can see, my bone broth, I always put turmeric in my bone broth if it's a poultry broth. And I want that extra nutrition in our broth, but it does make the soup yellow and darker. So you're going to see that. And I also, when I do poultry broth, I almost always, I would say always, roast the chicken bones first so they're more caramelized. So again, I do get a roasted chicken broth. It has a much deeper flavor. So it's going to make this soup not be so white. If you used canned chicken broth, it's lighter in color, and you'd probably find your soup would be very white when you're finished. But my soup is going to be kind of a creamy yellow, because of that. So we're gonna put the lid on and we're gonna let it cook. All right, time to make the roux. All of the potatoes and the corn, everything is cooked. The thing is, we don't want to brown this, so we're gonna cook this on low. This is just butter that I've melted. You could use, well, you could use a lot of things, but you could use bacon fat too. That would be really good. You can use oil if you don't want to use butter. So I don't even know how much flour that is, you guys. Probably 2 tablespoons. And then we're just going to cook that for a minute, just to kind of get that strong flour taste out of there. It really would cook if I just put this flour into a little liquid, poured it into my soup broth. It would cook in a couple of minutes in the soup broth. You really need 3 or 4 minutes for flour just to lose that raw flour taste. So it's just easier, I think, to cook it this way. And this way we're guaranteed to not have any lumps. So with roux, you do have to stir it constantly because the flour is cooking and it will thicken like a nice paste. And you're going to stir it until then, but don't stop stirring it. It will burn and it will start to brown if you cook it too hot. So I literally have my stove on low. It will take a little bit longer on low, of course, but I don't have to worry about browning it. It is a little bit yellow because of all the butter. But that doesn't matter because my soup is going to be kind of yellow because of the turmeric in the bone broth. But again, we don't care about that. But if you want your corn chowder to be super, super white, then you really have to make sure that you're using store-bought broth. And we don't do store-bought broth here. So we are okay with a color variation that is a healthy one. All right, so there's my soup. Now it's going to thicken a little bit more as that cooks. In the meantime, we are going to hit that with the stick blender just to blend it up a little bit to make it a little more creamy. And we are also going to add a little bit of milk. I'm only going to puree just a little bit of it. Because we like our soup really chunky. A little bit of whole milk. We use lactose free. You can use heavy cream if you prefer. Just makes it a little bit creamier. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Well, I made a nice big pot of rich, creamy bacon corn chowder. Tell me down below what your favorite. If you have a favorite chowder, I want to know what kind of chowder. I'm always looking for new variations on that. I do make a harvest chowder that we love too. And of course, clam chowder is a big staple in our household here in New England too. So put that information down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us so much with the algorithm, and we are actively trying to grow this channel. And you are the reason that we grow, and you are the reason that we're here. So I will see you next time.